Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Whiskey Wednesday. My favorite day. Ooh, nice little pop. Drinking Eagle Rare this evening. Coming full circle, so to speak. Way back in 2015, 2016, I was in a Google chat with a group of beer buddies, and we were talking about just hard alcohol in general, what people drank, what they liked. I had mentioned that I had some friends who were whiskey drinkers, and I'd asked them if there was a bottle of whiskey that I should have at my house for when they come over and they want to drink whiskey and not drink beer. And they almost unanimously said back then Eagle Rare. So I drove over to Bevmo that same day, paid like $27 for a bottle of it, and I had one. I opened it like that weekend and I was like, nope, not for me. Didn't like it. Tried to get into it and was just like, whiskey's not for me. Fast forward 8 years later, this is a favorite of mine now. So it's kind of fun to see how that goes. So Eagle Rare Buffalo Trace product. It is 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. I think, is this their mash bill one? I don't know what it is. But it is aged 10 years. So when I'm able to find this, it's much harder these days. I'm in North County, San Diego. When I can find this, there's a local Vons, just a regular supermarket, grocery store, however you call it, where you're at, that gets these, and they are $39.99. So a bit of a bump from 8 years ago, but I still think $40 for a bottle of 10-year bourbon is not bad. I don't know what you guys pay for it. It is much harder to find these days, as I said. Some places it's considered allocated. There's stores around here that charge $100 for this. It's just insane. So I am hoping that the whole Buffalo Trace expansion helps with a lot of these bottles that have recently become harder to find. Even regular Buffalo Trace these days, kind of harder to get. It's weird. So anything else to say? I don't think so. I like the bottle. I enjoy the little label. I like how the E is an eagle head. It's pretty cool. The only problem with this bottle is that it's tall and it's hard to fit in the little drawer that I have. So it smells so good. It's sweet. It's got a lot of like caramel and toffee and vanilla, and it's fruity. It's got like red fruits. I don't know if it's quite cherry. I'm trying my hardest to smell cherry and things, and I just still can't do it. But yeah, it's a mellow nose. You know, it's 90 proof. It's not anything. I think this is a good, again, it's a hard to find bottle and it can be pricey, but this is probably a good, even though back then for me, I was going to say it's a good kind of beginner whiskey, just because I don't think the nose is offensive. I laugh saying that now, but 8 years ago when I tried this, I was like, whoa, it's too much. But I think this could be something that someone who's trying to get into the whole whiskey game would be a good kind of a starter whiskey for them. Just because I think it's sweet, it's decadent, lots of vanilla sweetness, caramel toffee, it's fruity. It smells good. It's just a smooth sipper. This is one of those things. If I could find this all the time and have multiple bottles of this would be, people talk, I don't drink every day, but this would be something that I would have no problem coming home every day and just pouring and just sipping on. Just because it's mellow, but it's flavorful. It's not offensive. It's not aggressive. Doesn't overwhelm your senses or your palate. It's sweet caramel toffee, vanilla. There's almost like this cool like candy bar sort of a thing. I think maybe that kind of caramely thing is just with the sweetness kind of reminds you of like if you were to eat like what is, I don't eat candy bars anymore, but something like is it Milky Way that had chocolate with caramel? Something like that. A little bit of oak, and it's fairly dry on the finish. This is just, it's just really, really, I know people hate the word, it's very smooth, very flavorful. Nothing that's like mind-blowing, I don't think. Nothing with like these crazy depths of flavor that's gonna like blow your mind, but just something that's just really, really solid. Like I said, it's dry. You get a little bit of the oak from, you know, being in barrels for 10 years. But I just like the sweetness. I like the sweetness. I like that just desserty kind of candy bar thing. And I like the fruity, whatever fruit that is that I'm tasting, I don't know. I've heard people say strawberries in whiskey before. I don't think I taste strawberries. I don't think I taste cherry. Maybe like a raspberry thing. I don't know. But yeah, this for me, if you can find this at MSRP, if you can find this for 40 bucks, if you can find this for $50, I would say it's worth your time. I don't know about anything over that. If this is something that it's not available to you and you can get it somewhere for 60 bucks and you want to splurge for it just to say you've had it and have a bottle on your bar, I'd say okay, I guess. I don't know. I guess for me, like, I'm just patient enough to where I know I can find this every now and again, and I don't mind paying the $40 for it. It's your call, you know, anything after that, but highly recommended for me. I really, really enjoy it. Like I said, it's a good kind of getting into whiskey for me. Being, you know, under 100 proof, 90 proof. It's just one of those things. So, you guys fans of this one? I hope so. I think a lot of people tend to hate on this because it's become kind of like harder to get and people are jacking up the prices on it and everyone's like, what the fuck are we paying that, you know, much money for Eagle Rare? But this is really, really good. I love Eagle Rare. It's good stuff. So let's talk about it. You want to? Another Whiskey Wednesday in the books. Appreciate you guys watching. I will see you next week. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't